of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. Born on an island.
Hello, and welcome back to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I am the teacher, Dan.
I'm one of the students, Morg.
I'm the other student, Devon.
And this week we are beginning a bold new journey into the territories of Ken Penders.
The Ken Penderverse.
The Penderverse. We've dealt with Ken Penders before in Archie Sonic, but this is where we're really, I've even said in the past, this is where things begin. This is where Ken Penders starts to be on his bullshit, because for first covering 2 issues of Archie Sonic, one is a special, the other is a regular issue. We'll also briefly be talking about 2 pages from another issue, and after that, we'll be doing another episode, because this is important and I want to make it a 2-parter. After this is 2 more issues. The regular issue we're covering is the first part of a 3-part story about the rise and fall of echidna civilization. And the 2 issues after that will continue and conclude that. And after that, the next time we roll Archie Sonic after that, it's going to be a 3-part Knuckles miniseries. We're going to get a lot of Knuckles.
Yeah, it's about to be the Knuckles podcast.
Maybe I'll put a little special theme for this one or something.
Knuckles Shuffle.
Yeah. With that in mind, we've got to go over some news first. I have assembled several points. Some of this might be old news. Actually, all of this will be old news by the time you hear this, but some of it is before the recording. But a few things. Sage 2023 is coming up. It'll be from September 1st to September 8th. We've talked about Sage before. It is the Sonic and Sega Annual Game Expo. It is an opportunity for fans and indie developers to showcase a bunch of games they're working on, usually demos or test builds or what have you. They released a trailer for it that was 30 minutes long and had 60 different games on it. It looks exciting. I'll probably get more into it once Sage actually begins. But I saw among them there was actually quite a few Knights things. This year of Sage seems to be themed around Nights into Dreams.
Ooh.
There was a game on there that I didn't know was still in development called Dono's Quest, which is a Yoshi's Island inspired game. We've got a Punch-Out game. We've got Mega Man. We've got Bubble Bobble. We've got original properties. Some indie developer stuff that I noticed was it looks like they're working on some stuff for Frogun. There was there was a demo for Tori 3D for a new Tori game that's which are this series of retro PS1 style platformers that have been featured in other demo collection things. There's one thing that was interesting to me specifically was a game called Mushroom Kingdom Fusion, which I haven't heard about since, like, 2008.
Mushroom Kingdom Fusion.
It was like this... The idea was... It was a fan game that was just like a big crossover adventure between different, 8 and 16-bit games. I remember watching this showcase of a level where fucking Mario went through the flood from Halo.
Okay.
It's wild stuff.
Okay.
I don't know how it is now. Like, maybe the developer grew up a bit over the 15 years since I last heard about this. There's also a lot of ROM hacks, especially when stuff seemed around Sonic Advance. There's a lot of stuff there. I saw like a weird comedy game about working out with Omo Chow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on. Something we mentioned before, and I looked a bit more into, which is Sonic 3 is going to begin filming in September without actors. As far as I can tell, what this seems to mean is they are recording scenes that don't use the actors. So I guess like area shots or something? I don't know.
What the fuck?
Like, it said that, like, once the strike is over, they're going to just, like, they'll start filming the stuff that actually has the actors in it. I'm not sure if they're hiring scabs or... I don't think they are.
This is actually a testament to how artsy and kind of new the movie's going to be. What we don't know is there are going to be long scenes where the screen is just entirely blank. Mm-hmm. And all you can hear is Shadow killing cops.
Sonic is famously artsy, famously.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, if you ever played the video game Shadow the Hedgehog, you would know how artsy the Sonic franchise can be.
You're so right.
Maybe... Yeah, there's just... They're just going to film it in Blender or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to look like dog shit, and we're all gonna love it.
Yeah. But it's very, very concerning.
No, it'll be fine, I'm sure. Famously, everything that came out during the last writer's strike was great.
Yeah.
Famously.
So, the Sonic Twitter has begun a series of short comics called Fast Friends Forever. 2 of them have been released so far. One of them was by Ian Jones Quarterly, noted animator. And it was like a little comic about tales themed around the weird little blurbs that you see on Japanese Sonic box art. The Season 2 of Sonic Prime came out.
Hey, can I just have you go back? Sonic, what released those, like, little, comics?
Sonic God damn it.
Yeah. Yep.
At Sonic Hedgehog on X.com.
Yep.
God damn it.
It's gonna be so funny when we say we rolled Sonic X for next week, and then it comes up and we just start reading tweets.
I'm gonna kill you. No, but like,
yeah.
If you type in Twitter, you still get it. Like,
yeah, I have seen links. I've gotten Discord acts to this website that were x.com and then just like the tweet info. So I guess it is interchangeable.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's almost
I've got
like the
my browser.
site is fucking broken.
I've got the website open right now. Let me just see if I type in. No. Thought it would work for a second.
I was scrolling through the Sonic Twitter, and can someone describe the picture whereas the X-rays are back and the results are indisputable, and it looks like Sonic is bursting from your heart? Can someone describe that?
What?
I'm not on it right now.
Don't worry, I'm sending a picture directly to the group chat.
Yeah, let me
good.
see this.
Excellent.
Oh, right.
Is Sonic gonna kill me?
Yeah,
No, he just replaced your heart. It's fine.
Oh, okay. But my heart's
He's
right
just in
there.
your-
I can see it with my eyeballs.
yeah. As far as I can tell, Sonic has shrunken down and gone inside our body to fight a disease. But I think he's supposed to be a bit smaller. I think at this size he might kill us.
Yeah, I think he's actively killing me at that size.
Yeah, I think this is the point in the story. This is the point in the episode where the shrinking effects are wearing off and he's getting big.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, he's getting too big.
Yeah. Let's see. Fucking. Let me. Oh, actually, yeah. If I do swap out Twitter for X, it redirects to the equivalent Twitter page. So great stuff. Let me see. Next up, we got. Oh, here we go. Season 2, Sonic Prime came out. It's not really a second season. It's the second half of season 1, and I heard it's kind of mid.
It has Shadow in it.
It does have Shadow in it, and it has Nine, who is Tails from a different universe where he has 9 tails, and
oh my god, the nine-tailed fox!
He's the nine-tailed fox.
Ah!
I would fucking be losing my mind if someone walked up to me and said, "Did you know the nine-tailed fox is in Sonic the Hedgehog?" I'd be going crazy.
That does remind me of a fucking stupid thing I did in my RP days in high school, where I RP'd as Tails, and I specifically said that Tails was a kitsune, but he was young enough that he only had 2 tails instead of 9.
I thought that was kind of the thing.
Maybe.
Like, because, I don't know, because that's like the thing is that like foxes with multiple tails are like a real...
Yeah, that's in the real mythology,
myth.
yeah.
And like as they get older, they get more tails. That's in
Yeah.
Nine Tails is like Pokedex entry, so...
Yeah. I probably just, like, looked up Kitsune on Wikipedia or something.
Hell yeah.
Let me see. Moving on. Sonic Superstars is coming out this fall. The opening cinematic has been released to the public, and a new character has been revealed. Her name is Trip. She is like this girl in like she's got like this like clunky metal armor. I think she might be some kind of reptile based on like the tail she has, and she's got like a spike pattern on her helmet similar to like how a reptile would have them. I don't know if we'll see her with the helmet off or not, but we've got this little blurb from the official Sonic Superstars website. Not much is known yet about Trip, the mysterious girl first encountered by Fang on the North Star Islands. While a bit clumsy, Trip is heavily armored and has been enlisted by Fang and Dr. Eggman to protect and guide them around the wonders of this uncharted region. I'm kind of amused by them.
I hope she's Sonic's first character allowed to say fuck. I hope she just randomly trips off screen and then a little chat bubble appears above her head that just says fuck and then just moves on.
What if it said, like, fuck, but it was, like, bleeped out, like, with all the funny letters?
Oh, yeah, there's just, like, a little, like, right above her, it just is, like, a bunch of,
But the voice acting still just said fuck.
But you definitely hear her say fuck.
Yeah, in a way that makes you go, why would you, like, blur out the letters when I can just hear her?
It's gonna be like, that thing YouTubers do where they take the swears out of, like, the first 5 minutes of a video.
Yeah.
Or I had to hear a fucking, like, voice deepening or, like, run backwards for them saying things like suicide. I'm like, this is so stupid. Is this still a TikTok? Like, what? I don't know. Whatever. Censors are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you play her saying fuck backwards, it actually just sounds like her saying fuck, but backwards and slow.
So true!
Yeah.
The results will shock you.
Let's see, we've got, one last thing, Sega of Japan's TikTok has begun releasing a series of 3D animations called Sonic and Friends. They seem to be aimed at young children. There are 2 out so far, and it did make me look at Sega of Japan's TikTok. I don't normally look at TikTok, but I did see most of their videos seem to just be like someone in like a Sonic mascot suit fucking around. There's like
they've got like collabs.
They've got like collabs with other mascots, including Cheeton, which is surprising to me. Cheeton is like this weird, technically unofficial mascot for, let me see. They're like a weird unofficial mascot. A lot of their videos involve someone in the Cheeton suit just like doing pratfalls and hurting themselves and stuff. It's very
strange. So they're a Looney
Tunes
character?
Cheeton is, let me see, the unofficial representative of Susaki. Fairy Baby Otter wears a turtle on their head. From 2017. Let me see. Cheeton is something also. Although Cheeton was also on the John Oliver show, so I guess
maybe I'd see it if I recognize, you know.
Like let me.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up, but Google keeps asking me, "Do I mean Cheetos?"
No, Cheeton with 2 eyes. Try that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
this is great.
Cheetos.
I'm glad that the first result on DuckDuckGo shows her and the actual official mascot with, like, a bat and a fake assault rifle.
Yeah, I've seen this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 0 to 100 pratfalls looking thing.
I have seen this Yeah. Sorry, yes, I have seen this person. This person. It's a person now, apparently.
Well, it is. Cheeton's a 0-year-old fairy baby.
Yeah, we all know this.
Yes, of course. 0-year-old fairy baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad, even though they have the little, like, milk bottle, that they didn't put the diaper on it.
I don't think Cheeton is as into that gimmick.
Yeah, Cheeton is not a pervert, Morg.
Yeah. I'm glad. Well,
we're all glad.
Put respect on Cheeton's name.
Mm-hmm. It is very funny looking at these results, because a couple of them are like the weird, like, fake one that was made for John Oliver. very strange stuff. Very, very interesting videos. Look up Cheeton on YouTube. But moving on.
Cheeton.
I think that's it for news, thankfully. I'm going to really quick grab some water, and then we'll begin talking about Knuckles.
Yeah, and then we'll
Sonic.
begin to be normal.
Canucks. Big Knuckle. What if his name was
Captain
Knuckle? Like
Knuckles.
the captain, yes.
Yeah. What if he was Captain Knuckles?
Then he would be an old blue man.
He would be old, and he would be blue, and he would be living in a whale.
Sailor? Yeah, living in a whale.
That's what he means when he says landlubbers in this.
So true! I hope Dan keeps
all this
stupid
in.
Conversation.
I'm back. I've got my water.
Welcome back.
I've got water because last time I did this, I very much wore myself out talking at length about Knuckles the Echidna. So we begin not with the Sonic and Knuckles Super Special, but with 2 pages from issue 33.
Oh yeah.
Which there isn't much else in that issue to mention, so I'm just mentioning these 2 pages that deal with the Knuckles storyline. Issue 33.
Mysterious figure being a creep.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder what the rest of it is. Is it even anything?
I mean,
isn't it Sonic and Tails getting lost in weird portals or whatever?
No, that was the last that was the Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Let me see.
I also felt lost in portals during that, so.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna really quick pop open issue 33 just to do a quick rundown of the other stuff, which I believe were it was a story where all the freedom fighters got sick and Sonic had to shrink down and go into Rotor's body to heal them.
Oh yeah, it was one where they were like, should we give Rotor something to do?
Mm-hmm.
So
also,
this was actually appropriate, us talking about Sonic shrinking down and being in our chest cavity.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's what they were trying to be remember Rotor.
Remember this classic cartoon bit that we did one time in an issue. I'm just gonna go over it super quickly, but
I'm sorry.
That's but yeah, that's the premise of that one. There's a lot of gross out stuff because it's 1996, and that's big with kids right now.
Yeah, kids love slime and body horror.
The other thing was a story about Sonic characters playing hockey against Snively on behalf of Robotnik. They just it's not much, but what we do have to talk about is these 2 pages in which a mysterious figure in shadowy robes, cloaked beneath a hood, watches Knuckles from a vast array of monitors, a veritable goon cave.
Yeah. That's just the cave for the boys.
Mm-hmm. This is his special room. His special Knuckles viewing room.
Yeah, room where I view Knuckles.
Mm-hmm. He mentions that he could, if he's not Archimedes, Archimedes, who, as previously mentioned, kidnapped the Chaotix. He sort of knows that Archimedes is trying to lead Knuckles is trying to find Archimedes, and he could help Knuckles find Archimedes, but what Knuckles really needs right now is the wisdom that will come from trying to find them himself.
Yeah, he could help, but he's being a little tsundere right now.
Yeah. Instead, Knuckles is headed for another location called Mount Fate, which will be very, very important. But that's it for issue 33. The special.
Hey, did you guys know Sonic was racist?
Issue 33, the Super Sonic versus Hyper Knuckles special.
Sonic powers up and says the N-word.
By the way, if we hadn't mentioned it already, this is our second take. We recorded last week, then I found I lost my own recording, so we had to give it another go.
Yeah, I don't know if we said it. I had less energy last time, so this is fine for me. But also...
Yeah.
Hey,
what the fuck is Sonic's problem?
We're like, let's torture Devon 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with this guy?
From here on out, every time we roll, like, Archie Sonic, it's going to be the Devon torture hour.
Ken Penders era, I'm gonna be fucking miserable.
Also,
True.
I forgot to mention this. I looked through the credits. This first story is not by Ken Penders.
Oh, I know. I looked.
Yeah, this is by Mike Gallagher.
Yeah, Mike Gallagher, you're also on my list.
Who has up to this point been the sort of, like, main guy for, Archie Sonic. His thing is writing, like, the weird gag comics that have sort of been the focus so far.
Also giving Sonic weird things to say about Knuckles, apparently.
This is what I like to call a white liberal who doesn't realize the things that he's saying are, like, extremely racist. Just kind of way of speaking.
Yeah.
I think this man holds no malice in his heart. I think he just doesn't know.
Yeah. So, we begin the issue with Sally, Tails, and Sonic looking at the Freedom Fighters, I guess computer base. They're like looking at Knuckles on a monitor.
Fully monitoring a black man who is unbothered. Just being like, damn, I'm wondering what he's doing in our neighborhood.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be here. He's
not supposed to be in our neighborhood.
Why is he supposed to be on his island?
Why is he not on his fucking separate ass island?
Yeah.
Sonic opens the conversation great by going, "Grr, that dreadlocker makes my spines tingle. He's up to no good." What was that, Sonic?
Yeah, he says something very concerning.
Sonic has learned some concerning words.
He's been watching a couple videos.
Yeah, Jordan B. Porcupine has been on his TV a little too much lately.
Oh, Jordan B. Porcupine. Anything but that. What if he was a frog instead, to play in the whole Kermit the Frog space more?
Yeah.
Jordan P. Frog? I don't think I would like that, because that puts them a little too close to Kermit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do
Kermit
that.
doesn't deserve that, even though his voice is...
Yeah.
Although, it does put him also close to Yoda, and Yoda does deserve that.
Yeah,
True.
Yoda would absolutely say those things.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I was just imagining Yoda just like saying slurs for a second.
Yoda on the Joe Rogan podcast.
He would absolutely. Yoda on the Joe Rogan podcast is much to think about.
Fake pronouns they are.
Oh no!
Yoda, no.
Well, now I wonder if like Joe Rogan Mickey from Sounds About Light could have Yoda on his show, because Star Wars is Disney's now, and that can just happen, you know. Anyway,
you know
this is
learned
completely,
recently, which is something that I didn't remember. Remember how Joe Rogan used to host the show Fear Factor?
I didn't know that. That's surprising.
Yeah, it fucked me up big time.
It rings a bell, but I don't know.
I was never into Fear Factor.
Yeah, it's a bad show.
I'd rather people, like, do stupid shit to themselves, like a jackass, instead of stupid shit to other people, like a Fear Factor, you know?
Yeah. So, just to, like, be clear, a recurring thing in this story is Sonic just saying insults to Knuckles that unintentionally feel racially charged.
Yeah.
Like extremely.
Usually because they have to do with his physical appearance.
Sonic does go and quote-unquote talk to Knuckles.
Yeah, Sally tells Sonic not to immediately get into a fight, just to talk to him, and Sonic says, yeah, sure. And then Tails has a funny bit where he's just like, so he'll probably start a fight on page 6, right?
Yeah.
And then he does.
He does. He very much does.
Did you guys like Knuckles' plot book?
Yeah, so when we see Knuckles, he's sort of like recounting why he came here. Because apparently since there's only one emerald on Angel Island, and he needs he's worried that something might happen if that emerald goes away again, because it did go away in Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah.
He pulls a book out of a tree, like a little panel pops open on a tree nearby, like he's talking with Mighty about it, and he pulls out a book of myths, and they're
just
looking.
Book.
Yeah. Conveniently, this book of myths has a whole thing about the Lake of Rings, which is, where the Freedom Fighters hang out, where they get their golden rings for Sonic. And they're, We
did talk last week about Knuckles' weird speech where he says, everyone on the ground is a landlubber.
He does
to which
say
I respond,
landlubber.
Knuckles, you live on an island. And then he says, we abandoned technology to revert to being environmentally friendly, to which I respond, Knuckles, your emerald is kept in a room where a laser beam hits it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Knuckles, I think...
I see the diodes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Reverting to older technology is going to be very important to Echidna lore, though. It is also
Knuckles'
funny
dad
because...
told him shit about how his island works.
Mm-hmm. It is also very funny, just because, as far as Knuckles knows, he's the only Echidna. It's just him, the Chaotix, and maybe some randos we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. He's pretty fine with it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he set off to the Lake of Rings. He's here, and it looks like shit. It's very polluted. There's buildings. There's dead trees around the lake. There's a broken camera.
Shitty camera.
Uh-huh. And there's Sonic making an Arthur fist as he punches Knuckles in the face. The one thing we
Unprompted.
mentioned... Uh-huh. He just starts with the punch,
Yeah, he just starts on some bullshit, and Knuckles is like, yo, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. It's detailed cartoon hand.
Yeah,
Sonic engages some grade A cop behavior where he escalates a situation, then says, well, I asked to de-escalate, and they said no.
Uh-huh. Pro tip. If you aggress your enemies, you don't have to worry about, say, you can just say it was in self-defense from that point on.
Yeah. Sorry, they attacked me. Yeah, because you attacked them. I know, but they attacked me.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy out there.
Yeah. He, pulls out like a little, he pulls out like a little gag, legal department, script, to offer, Knuckles a non-violent discussion after punching him. So, Knuckles just punches Sonic in the face, and they begin fighting. We get, a cool bit where, Knuckles uproots a tree as Sonic is, running up it, and because of that, like, Sonic just, like, loses the balance on his spin dash, and his spines get stuck inside the tree. On the next page, Sonic's, like, trying to pull himself out, and his spines are, like, lodged all the way through. Longer than they should be. Frankly, it's upsetting.
Yeah, it's a little horrific. Hey, sorry, my cats are deciding now is a great time to wrestle.
Oh, great.
Wrestling.
Are you two done? Great.
Alright. Sonic decides to use this to his advantage and just sort of like throws the tree that he's attached to onto Knuckles and hits him with it.
Yeah, when did Sonic get this strong?
Yeah, like, I understand Sonic's supposed to be pretty powerful, and Knuckles did uproot the tree, but, you know...
You think of, like, Sonic as being, like, acrobatic and, like, lives, I guess?
Yeah, I always viewed him as, like, kind of like, you know how the Flash is strong, but that's just because he can run really fast and punch really hard using that?
He's like...
It's not like he can just, like, bench press a car.
Yeah.
He's like a Dex build, and, like, Knuckles is more of, like...
A strength build.
A strength build, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Sonic also got that strength build.
Apparently. At least Archie Sonic,
Archie Sonic jacked.
He's jacked. Thankfully, the one thing that can stop two men from fighting is a woman. And Sally Acorn is here to serve that role.
Thank you, beautiful woman.
Sonic and Knuckles continue to exchange insults, while Sally reveals that tree they uprooted actually leads into a portal to a special unknown zone, which is to say a Sonic level, that is just full of rings and emeralds and just ripe for the taking.
Hey guys, did you check out this tree hole? This tree hole to another dimension?
So Knuckles goes in after... Knuckles just hops in because the whole reason he's here is he needs, like, backup energy.
The whole reason.
Yeah, the whole reason.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The whole reason for Knuckles is to go into this hole and get some rings and gemeralds to serve as backup power for the island. Sally tries to stop him because this is an unstable realm of chaos and energy, and he could get hurt in there. But Sally then accidentally reveals that she actually knew Knuckles this whole time. Like, sometime before Robotnik took over, they would, like, spend summers together.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, it does make me think. This is, like, well after the end of Satam. I wonder if they would have, like, had they gotten the chance to do more story, if they would have maybe had some Knuckles in there.
The more Knuckles acts like he's never seen or met people and is dubious about how society works, and the more Sally is just like, no, we used to hang out. The more I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, it's a little something.
Did she go to, like, their island, or did Knuckles, like, hop down to the regular ground and say, I don't know shit about this place, and she said, that's fine.
Yeah, or like he forced himself to forget or something.
I feel like
after his dad jumped into the big fire.
I honestly, in the swirling miasma of my mind, I feel like they have to do like a story about that at some point.
I mean, they gotta. You don't drop something like that and say, anyways.
So Sonic hops in after Knuckles on Sally's order as they heterosexually think about each other.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I always forget that Sonic canonically gets married to Sally Acorn in this.
Yeah, that is the future of this universe. We've gotten a glimpse at that future.
We've seen Sonic's kids.
Everyone is straight married and they have children. And also they're like royalty and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Knuckles...
Sonic not doing a great job at scoring boyfriend points in this.
No.
No.
He is not nearly the dreamboat that he ought to be.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it is funny to think about just because I know how things will shake out in the future and
he's a huge dreamboat. And
there were
homoerotic.
He has none of the he is not nearly as swaggy as his anime incarnation.
I know, it's very tragic.
But they sort of like Sonic and Knuckles are in this stage. They are in this Sonic level, collecting rings, collecting emeralds. So to see like who can go super first. And it's Sonic. He manages to get super, and Knuckles has to like take a moment to start counting how many rings he's got left, so he can go super himself. He becomes Hyper Knuckles.
I love how Sally sent Sonic down here to just talk to Knuckles yet again, and the first thing Sonic does is like, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan, I'm gonna beat this guy's ass.
I'm gonna fucking destroy this man.
I'm going to obliterate this man in Super Saiyan form.
Hyper Knuckles pink.
Yeah,
him pink.
Yeah, I remember in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, both of them technically have like a hyper form and a super form. I remember Sonic when he's got all the super emeralds and goes hypersonic, he like is glowing all the colors of the rainbow. It's a little eye-searing. And Knuckles is like sort of like glowing pink and white. They can't really show that as effectively in a comic, unfortunately. So he's just a sort of lightish red. Not enough to be like real pink, just lightish red.
Just like a different shade.
I wish he was like brighter. I feel like the change between blue and yellow or gold or whatever you want to call it, and then like red to pink, it's like not as dramatic. I was like,
yeah, I kind of keep forgetting that he's in his super form this entire time.
I was like, is he, like, I squinted, I was like, is he a different color, or is he in a different light right
He's
now?
a gem shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, I am reviewing
like looking
these
at
panels.
fucking Gengar over here.
Yeah.
True. Like a fucking Garchomp who's,
just
like, barely different.
Yeah, just one of the, well, I was about to say something, and maybe I will say it, just to give, like, a little, thing for the listeners to think about for the next couple years. Maybe he should be green.
I mean, I think he should be green.
I think it would probably work better if he was green, is the thing.
I want lime Knuckles.
I'm, like, scared now, because I'm like, oh, obviously there's going to be a green echidna, and he's gonna kill me instantly.
we meet a green echidna.
We're gonna meet a green echidna.
We've met a green echidna.
Yeah.
Have we?
Well, we haven't met him...
Like, on recording we haven't met him, but...
Not in this recording. We'll be talking about him next recording.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, okay, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, of course, that green echidna, of course.
Yeah, that's just a little treat for the listeners.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they start like punching each other for a couple pages. Knuckles like rips a chunk of wall out of the level and starts hitting Sonic with it, which is pretty good. And we get like a big 2-page pinup, which is to say a 2-page spread of Sonic and Knuckles just sort of in some sort of like struggle hold. And eventually we also get like a bit of Christmas tree Sonic during this fight.
The fucked up what does Sonic look like from behind, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Christmas tree.
Unfortunately, it will be like
Christmas tree.
It will only be like about 3 years until Sonic Adventure comes out, and someone with access to 3D modeling can show what that looks like without it being bad to look at.
Someone finally says, "What if we made this look appealing?"
Yeah. So eventually, they collide at such high speeds that, like time and space bends around them, completely destroying this, like, zone, and popping, like, creating a massive wave of energy. They destroyed a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what if there were, like, things living in there?
Yeah. What if? But we get, like, a page where, like, Robotnik and a SWAT bot are looking at a monitor at this massive spike in energy. And Eggman is very upset. Not because of this, but because he just realized this is the only page of this issue that he gets to be in. Sonic eventually is able to come to. He's back outside the Lake of Rings. Knuckles is gone. The entire
racism
zone
has been exploded out of him.
The zone has been obliterated. There's nothing. There's no emeralds. There's no rings. It's all gone. It's just Sonic here, and Knuckles somewhere else.
Sonic here.
I love this, like, the way Sally describes it just seems weirdly exciting. She seems weirdly excited about it.
It's because Sally is secretly evil.
Well, she is a monarch.
That's true.
She also reveals that the broken camera that was in the Lake of Rings was actually fully functional. It's just in a sort of like camouflage job to make it look like shit, which I think is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Sally explains that, I guess, okay, this is weird, because her, like, explaining what happens seems to imply that she just, like, went back to, the computer monitor from the start of the issue, and then went back over there, just to, you know, watch Sonic fight, and then watch Sonic, lose, and just go get him. It's weird. But that's it for, this first story. Like, they fly off into the sunset. Sonic does his thing at the end of every episode of Sad AM where he pretends to not be, into Sally.
Yeah, this is what I mean when I say the racism explode on, because she tries to bring up, Knuckles, and he's just like, what? Yeah, I don't care. All the racism got exploded out of him.
Yeah.
He's been returned to his pure state.
Yeah, he was cleansed in the waters of, of an
exploding dimension.
Yeah. The river leaf, but just for the racism.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
yeah,
Knuckles... Oh, what were you saying?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Sonic. Just taking in Sonic, you know.
Yeah. Knuckles...
Well, we're almost at the best part of this comic, so...
Yeah. Knuckles returns to the floating island. He reveals that he did, in fact, manage to sneak one emerald with him. So he's got a backup in case something goes wrong. But that's not important right now. What's important right now is Knuckles' shitty dad and his relationship with his
bathrobe, boots-wearing dad.
Yes. So... This second story, Fathers and Sons, features Locke the Echidna. He is Knuckles' dad. To distinguish him from Knuckles, he is slightly taller, and he wears a white robe, a white bathrobe, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe like a karate gi or something, possibly. And he's got like...
Boots?
Oh, he's got boots instead of shoes.
He got Uggs.
And he's got like this weird flesh beard.
Yeah, he got the Shaggy Rogers goatee.
Yeah, like I wonder if like whoever was like on colors just forgot to like color that in properly.
Now it's
readers,
like
if
that.
you're wondering if the writing suddenly gets really weird, such as this guy being named Locke, this was written by Ken Penders.
Yeah. So he shows Knuckles the breadth of the island and gives a Mufasa-esque speech about how one day you will be responsible for all this.
And then the antelope will eat the
island.
grass, and we will eat the antelope.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to kill your friend, Mighty the Armadillo. Devour him, Knuckles.
Destroy him. Consume him
Knuckles
and become
is like,
stronger.
Knuckles is like, echidnas don't eat meat. I'm so confused.
Uh-huh.
Actually, they might. Don't check that.
I don't know.
But they don't eat armadillos. I at least know that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so ashamed of your words and deeds when I bring up that echidnas feast mainly on armadillos.
Uh-huh.
Fuck!
I'm just kidding. No, they don't.
Uh-huh.
They like eat bugs and shit, you know?
Locke leads Knuckles into
Did
the
you know
zoot
baby
chute.
echidnas are called puggles?
No!
Puggles?
Puggles.
Puggles?
Oh my goodness.
That's how I know Ken Penders did not do a single bit of fucking research in this, because I don't think Knuckles gets called Puggle even once.
Oh, that's such a shame.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I'm looking this up. Huh. It also seems to refer to, like, a particular breed of dog, as well as, a baby platypus. This is much
That makes sense because, I think echidnas
Are Dr. Starline and Knuckles, cousins?
They might be cousins.
They might be cousins.
Cause echidnas and platypi I think are related. Somehow.
Yeah. Interesting. Much to consider for the theory crafters.
Yeah, much to consider.
So, Locke leads Knuckles down into the zoot chute, which we've seen before. It's
boogie.
It's just a very silly name for this very important plot thing, or notable story element.
Zoot chute boogie.
Knuckles, or Locke shows Knuckles the big, powerful emerald that keeps the island aloft. Knuckles is just like walking through some ruins, thinking about this moment in his life, as well as other moments in his life with his dad, including
like the time they broke an orb.
Yeah, like the time he taught him a little lesson about not punching orbs. He's like showing Knuckles this mysterious floating orb that is just here for some reason. We don't know where it comes from or what it intends to do. How should we handle it?
It's just minding its own damn business, and Knuckles says, "Fuck this orb."
Mm-hmm. Yes. He starts by saying, "I guess we'll watch and see what it does." And then Locke says, "And then what?" And then Knuckles punches it. And I guess it was like filled with smoke or powder or some minor explosive, because like smoke comes out and it like he like chokes on it. And that's how he learned from Locke that the most important lesson is to know your enemy.
Yeah, great lesson, I guess.
Great fucking lesson, Mufasa.
Great lesson, especially since he has no idea who this Archimedes guy who kidnapped his friends is.
Maybe you should tell him where the orbs fucking come from.
Uh-huh. Maybe you should... Maybe there's a better way to teach this lesson. Then he remembers...
Before you commit property damage, Knuckles, knows whose stuff you're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dad.
And then Knuckles remembers the last time he saw his dad. They go out.
So good.
They go out into this foggy cliffside.
They enter a boss fog wall.
Yeah, it's just a big Dark Souls fog wall that he explains is called the Forbidden Zone.
Welcome to Lost Izalith, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. He says there's a task he must perform, and don't come after me. For you have to be the Guardian now. That's your responsibility. And me, your dad, I have to answer to the calling of our forebears. As he goes through the fog wall and then jumps into, I think, a different wall of just pure flames. And
a wall of energy. Or, like, it looks like fire, though.
Yeah.
He's just jumping into fire. He's fucking...
And then, but it's fine, because right after that, the wall of fire disappears and he vanishes.
Yeah.
He went out for the most extreme cigarettes you have ever seen in your entire life.
Uh-huh.
He, like, stayed put, like he was told to.
It's like a fucking dog.
Yeah. Knuckles is just gonna spend the rest of his life on this island, just not knowing what the hell that was, but you know, he's 100% sure that by staying on this island and keeping it safe, he's honoring his dad who jumped into a wall of fire for some reason.
So do you think when Sally and her dad came to visit them next summer, do you think they were like, "Hey, Knuckles, where's your dad?" And he's like, "Jumped into fire."
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? And he's like, "I don't know what to fucking tell you. He jumped into a giant ring of fire."
Yeah, he said it was his duty.
He went to visit our forebears.
Mm-hmm.
Told me not to follow.
Yeah. So then he starts thinking about, like, how since then he's made mistakes, like, he's gotten tricked by Robotnik, and then he had to, team up with Sonic, and then Sonic had him form the Chaotix, and...
When Sonic wasn't racist.
Mm-hmm. He remembers when Sonic wasn't racist.
That one time.
Mm-hmm.
Good old days.
And he knows that now he has to track down Archimedes and get some answers. And the like last panel is like Knuckles like calling out to his dad in the Chaotix as we see the faces of Locke, Charmy, Mighty the Armadillo, Espio the Chameleon, and Vector the Crocodile just sort of in the sky, in the night sky, seemingly dead.
I was like, damn. They all died.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
He's thinking about them like they're the fucking Stardust Crusaders.
Uh-huh.
Goodbye, Muhammad Abdul.
Goodbye.
God.
And the issue ends with a note of, well, the story will continue in issue 34. Don't miss it. On sale in March 1996. And so we will move on to
truly a comic
issue 34
before the world knew about 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck!
5 years before it all happened.
I was just talking about 9/11.
I think every comic should have like a little countdown at the bottom of it that just denotes how long it came out before 9/11 happened. They should retroactively do that to every single comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna switch from. I think we should just like switch from like
AD, BC,
like,
and AD.
Yeah, from BC and AD to B9/11, P9/11, post 9/11.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The year of our country, America.
Let's talk about Uncle Chuck.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Chuck.
So
he's normal.
Yeah. So
like
our
he's
first
robot,
story,
but he normal.
Yeah. The first story is about Uncle Chuck and Muttley. Sonic watches them get like shot with like electrocution beams, but apparently it's actually just the de-roboticization process. They were trying out something, but it didn't work. They're still robots. Robotnik's the only one who can actually do it, but like hell if he's gonna do that.
Yeah, he's busy right now.
He doesn't. So
he cosplaying.
Yeah. Thankfully, their minds still work. So, meanwhile, over with Robotnik. Robotnik is has revealed to Snively that he's assembled an army of combots who look like SWAT bots, except their heads are slightly different, and they've got like a camo pattern.
And
Robotnik,
cosplaying.
He is in like military cosplay. He's got like he's swapped out his jacket. He's got medals. He's got epaulets. He's got a pickelhaube, some sunglasses. He just tried to like look up 3 different types of military concepts and put them all together.
Yeah, he couldn't decide what he liked the most, so he said all of them.
Yeah. So he's gonna use this like army of combots to just like storm the Great Forest, destroy Knothole, and deal with the problem once and for all. But thankfully, Dulcie was also here, just sort of like listening in.
Pretending to be like a gargoyle.
Yeah. They're in like the domed roof of a building, with like gargoyles around it, and she's just sort of blending in with them. Having heard this, Dulcie flies off to warn the freedom fighters, and they come up with a plan. The plan right now seems to be sabotage the combots. So they like go over to so Sonic, Mutsky, Uncle Chuck, they all go to the domed roof where the combots are being held. They like set a bomb, but they get sabotaged. Robotnik like zaps Uncle Chuck and Mutsky, reverting them from like their free will state to being goons for Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, and Sonic don't like this one bit.
No. They make Sonic deactivate the explosives, and Robotnik announces, tomorrow we're going to have a parade, and you're going to lead it, pointing directly at Sonic. We then see, the next morning, Sally meeting with, Tails, Antoine, and Bunny, who were doing recon, and they've got, like, beanies and sweaters.
It looks like Tails and Bunny Ramon have yarmulkes on.
Yeah.
Which, good for them. Mm-hmm. Antoine just looks like shit, like always.
Yeah. He's French, it's fine.
Yeah. The natural state of the French.
Mm-hmm. And then
they're all, like, upset, because, Sonic didn't come back, and...
Mm-hmm. Where is Sonic?
Where is Sonic? And the answer is he's getting crucified.
He's strapped to a tank. He's strapped to the front of Robotnik's tank.
Yeah, just bolted down, as this tank leads the charge of Combots. And also Uncle Chuck and Mutsky are there.
Yeah, and they're all like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
It backfired.
Well, let's get all of the remaining civilians and have them evacuate. But before they can do that, Robotnik interrupts them, and also Uncle Chuck is here in a little hover car. He's just sort of staring blankly. It's very fun.
He says, "I'm normal."
Mm-hmm.
Looking extremely normal, Uncle.
Yeah. They face off. Robotnik sends the Combots out, except they're suddenly going a different direction. In fact, they're walking off a cliff into the ocean. And the comic does note that they have, like, previously had dealt with a robot by sending it into the ocean. With no Combots left, they try to get into the tank, but Sonic has gotten free somehow and is pointing it directly at them.
But oh no, Muskie has attacked him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So Robotnik and Snively get into the hover car that Uncle Chuck is conveniently piloting and get away. We then reveal that this was the plan, because Uncle Chuck and Mutsky actually have chips implanted into them to override the mind control stuff. So no matter what, they will always retain their free will. And Uncle Chuck and Mutsky are now to serve as spies for the freedom fighters. They show up and say, now we have to leave this comic.
They say, well, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And
so long, Gay Bowser.
So long, Sonic. And meanwhile, the story ends with a panel of Antoine very confused by this, weird triple agent plan. Things are about to get a lot more confusing. Because right now, it's time for Knuckles' half of the story.
It's time for things that look like they were extremely drawn by Ken Penders. Like echidna feet.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy seeing Knuckles' dad's toes?
Oh boy.
It's weird because we saw his boots the last time, but no, we see him in flip-flops this time.
Sometimes,
and I'm like, oh no.
You know what they say, sometimes you get the boots, and sometimes you get the toes.
Yeah, sometimes barefoot is legal.
Sometimes barefoot is legal. So Knuckles is continuing where he was last time, which is wandering through a bunch of ruins, where he comes across the mountain, Mount Fate, which is a big mountain with a skull face.
Well, like a Scooby-Doo-ass skull face app.
Yeah. So we get another shot of Locke. I will note he looks a little bit different because now he's drawn by Ken Penders. His beard is still flesh colored.
Yeah, it also doesn't really appear to be connected to its face.
Okay, so he was just written by Ken Penders last time. Now he is drawn. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see the distinctive Ken Pender-isms.
Yeah.
Like how all the faces kind of look like shit.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, Ken Penders. No, I'm not.
No. A man with, like, decades of art experience, only to come out looking significantly worse, I think is worth noting. Like, I think it's not like he doesn't have skill. He's just applying it in the worst ways possible.
He manifests a distinctive style, and the distinctive style looks like ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Ken Penders. No, I'm not.
You can't stop saying sorry and then taking it back.
I mean, I can, and I will.
Yeah. So, at this point, Knuckles starts talking about echidna history.
Knuckles knows a lot about echidna history for someone who is not supposed to know much about his past.
Yeah.
But I guess Locke had to do something. Also,
Locke gave him the history book.
Yeah, also I forgot to say something that Devon mentioned a couple minutes ago, which is the Ken Penders drawing of Locke. He is wearing, like, open-toed sandals. You can see his toesies.
His little teeny-weeny toesies.
But Knuckles goes into the history of the echidnas. Long, long ago, echidnas were the most advanced civilization on Mobius. They lived on a city called Echidnopolis, which was on an island in the middle of the Great River of Mobius. However, unlike now, this island was groundbound. Also, echidnas are basically Kryptonians. They had, like, all this future tech. They had big spires. They had flying vehicles, and they had a giant telescope from which two scientists, a man and a woman, sort of discover that a meteor is going to head directly towards them. It is worth noting, these scientists both look like Knuckles, except one of them, the male scientist, wears a pair of, like, glasses lifted up over his head and a lab coat, and the other one, who is a woman, has eyelashes, boobs, a vaguely defined blue jacket, and weird hair that looks like a soft serve swirl.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Or like a wrap. It looks kind of like a head wrap, but it looks bad. It looks not good.
I don't even know how I would do that with my own hair.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it comes from anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like a soft serve swirl on her head.
Yeah.
Because her other, like, locks are just hanging down normally.
Yeah, the rest just look like Knuckles without such drastic changes. It's also worth noting, throughout this three-parter, we get to see a lot of echidnas, and they're all just Knuckles with, like, different outfits and accessories.
Or longer legs.
Mm-hmm. And longer legs. So they make an announcement about this meteor headed towards the island, and reveal their daring plan. So we see them enacting this plan. All the echidnas leave the city with some mining equipment, and they just sort of like go hunt, search like the surrounding area, the surrounding countryside for Chaos Emeralds. Hang on a second.
They start opening their emerald mines.
Mm-hmm. Like the developed nation they are, they begin harvesting
exploiting
emeralds.
The land for resources.
Yeah. Listen, it's all terra nullis out there. It's fine.
Yeah. You can just find these ancient mystical chaos emeralds anywhere, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is before we thought there were only 7 of them.
Yeah. In fact, they get a dozen. And
that's more than a dozen.
Mm-hmm. And they sort of like send them down to like the caverns beneath the island, and like set it up so that the island is so full of Chaos Emerald power and it goes shooting out off of the land and into the sky. This is portrayed through 3 panels in which a whole bunch of ants nervously run out of a hole.
Yeah, what the fuck is with these ants?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that they're
I don't
human
know.
hands.
I know ants will come up in the lore soon. I don't know how long term this is going to be.
Yeah, when did Ken Penders get a bug in his ear about ants?
Well, I imagine, it was the 90s, so he probably owned a home.
So true.
And
he's like,
probably
you have to,
was
like,
worried
lift
about
the entire
getting
building
pests.
to get rid of these fuckers.
Uh-huh. So they, like, fly into the sky just as the comet lands and hits the lake where the newly formed lake where they once were.
It harmlessly hits the newly formed lake as a family of hedgehogs puts a completely blank sign into the ground next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It presumably is supposed to be a for sale sign. I assume that's the gag. But it's
Why
something.
is it blank?
I don't know.
Did they forget? When they sent this to the editor, did the editor say, was something supposed to be here? And they said, no.
Ken Penders graciously explained to his editor that clearly you can tell through the visuals that it's supposed to be a for sale sign. And he didn't have to write the words for sale on it.
No, you cannot put the words for sale on it in post.
Yeah.
Let the audience use context clues.
Yeah. And, of course, because these 2 scientists who save their people are a man and a woman, they fall in love.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why the island floats now. And we
glad
sort of
Knuckles thought about this when staring at a weird fucked up mountain.
Yeah, it's very convenient he started thinking about this. And the issue
makes
ends
a slow
with
turn away from the camera.
Uh-huh. And the issue ends with them saying, and so they severed their ties to the land. They severed their ties to the surface, and they would float alone and apart until their downfall. That created Mount Fate. And that's where we're sort of dropping off for this episode. It's time to read some asks that we got. We got a couple different asks from a couple different people. Some people sent multiple questions. I'm going to just try to read the ones that focus on these 2 issues. I think we had answers for some of these, but I think we can either, like, make them up again, or if we remember them, we can say what we said.
Yeah, I don't remember.
My mind is perfectly clear, so I don't remember anything I said.
Right.
For real.
Our first question comes from Teddy, who asks, if you made a Knuckles ancestor echidna Sona, what funny name would you give them? What grandiose and yet ultimately meaningless role would they have played in Echidna Society's seemingly forced fate of making Knuckles Ken Penders' very special boy?
Oh, I feel like I did have an interesting answer, but I don't remember it. Oh, I think I made a joke about my name being Morg, and I was like, what if they worked at the morgue?
That's right.
Yeah.
Morgan or something. Like, because they have silly names.
Yeah.
Yeah, they either have, like, normal person names that are hyphenated, or they have names like Locke.
Yeah. They put, like, a hyphen in them to, like, make them look like a sci-fi name.
Yeah, some Star Trek
Kryptonian
shit.
style.
Yeah, my name is John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Unrelated to the name John Jones.
Yeah. I don't remember what I said for mine, but, how about,
I think they were a street cop.
Oh, that's right.
On a funny little bicycle.
Yeah, they were a bike cop. They were the specialist bike cop. I think I can't remember what name I gave them, so I'll say, let's go with, Dantel. I don't know. Nah, that one sucks. Let's go with Tomas. Tomas.
I can't remember what mine was, so I'm going to... I remember it was a body part name. I can't remember what, so I'm just going to call him Elbow.
Oh, that's right. That was the name. I remember now.
Yeah. And I think he should be Knuckles' childhood best friend who got erased from the timeline by the Great Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Knuckles doesn't remember anymore. He got erased.
Yeah. Fucked up.
I know, it was. He also jumped into the source wall.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I think I can read this one next. If Penders was allowed to write the backstory for Sonic, like he originally wanted to, what singular bit of design would separate his ancestor from him? Worth noting, Sonic, Knuckles... The reason these stories are focused on Knuckles and not Sonic is because, basically, Ken Penders could get away with more if he used a character who wasn't Sonic.
But could you imagine if they let him, in a moment of pure stupidity, if they let him write the Sonic backstory? Mm-hmm. And all Sonic franchise-related things had to be run through Ken Penders after that.
I don't think it would have gone that far. Like,
could you imagine, though? If we were sitting here thinking about the Sonic Sue Chronicles.
Yeah. I think about... I honestly don't remember the full story. I know an important detail is Ken Penders did not sue Archie. Archie sued Ken Penders. Which is a very fascinating detail.
Incredible.
One thing to note, I guess to answer the question, I think Sonic's ancestor would probably have, like, well, I imagine he would still be a scientist, so he'd probably just wear some glasses. Maybe he, instead of a lab coat, he has, like, a funny hat, or, like, a pit helmet.
It would be funny if he had a lab coat, but his quills were sticking out of it.
Oh, that would be fun,
Send
yeah.
tweet.
Mm-hmm.
What if, he looked like a Christmas tree even when he was outside of Christmas tree mode?
Oh, yeah, he was just always... like, his quills are just shaped like that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Our next question... Oh, you know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of, in Pizza Tower... In the Pizza Tower demos... I'm thinking about this because of Sage. The Pizza Tower demos that were released in Sage in the years before its release featured like a sort of off Sonic, a sort of non-Sonic called Snick. And
yeah. I've seen pictures of Snick, yes.
Yeah, and Snick is a bit more like instead of like being like 2 arms, 2 legs, they're like 2 legs and their like body is sort of shaped like a Christmas tree. So maybe they look like that. Not even 2 legs, just 2 feet. But yeah, let me see. I will save this question for next time. Yeah, I think I'll save... Yeah, I think I'll save these last 2 questions for next time. Until then, well, we don't need to roll, because we are, in fact, this is such a high priority for me that we will not be rolling to continue this. We will just be continuing into a part 2. And I guess go to plugs. I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places. You can find all those places at biggerchallenge.cart.co. That includes my other active podcast, Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. We are currently covering Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. We are about halfway through the Darksiders arc, I think. And I'm excited to see where things go, because 5Ds is kind of batshit. Like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's kind of batshit.
Hell yeah.
You can follow my Tumblr, Bigger Challenge, Big Challenges on co-host. Hang on a second.
Did we lose Dan?
Oh no, Discord crashed. Dan? But I'm still recording, so that's fine. Hi, Discord crashed, but I'm still recording it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We thought Ken Penders got you.
Not again.
Yeah. Big Challenges on co-host. There's my XCOM 2 screenshot LP. My art Tumblr at Xbox_holiday, which will be moving to Tumblr in the new year, but not yet. And my Fur Affinity. You can... Let's see, that's all the places you can find me. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Tumblr and Blue Sky. You can find me at Gengar on co-host. You can find me on my other podcasts, Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast, and check out The Sky, a podcast where we talk about OCs. Mm-hmm. Both ours and guest OCs. Yeah, that's it. Where can we find you, Devon?
You can find me on Tumblr at Jazz Dumpster, and you can find me on another podcast called We Rate Queerbait, a show where we explore the blurry lines between homies and homos. Last episode we recorded was on The Great Mouse Detective, which is about how it's gay to hate somebody so fucking much.
Yeah, it's incredible. Back when I was on Disney Minus, the first episode we ever did was on The Great Mouse Detective, and I wholeheartedly agree with this notion. I look forward to the We Rate Queerbait episode, if it's not out already.
Yeah, that episode is also about how Radigan is my boyfriend, but that's slightly unrelated.
It's tangential.
Yeah.
You can find us on Tumblr, co-host at The Sonic Shuffle. I believe that's... Let me see, is that hyphenated or one word? I think it's one word. You can find us on your local podcatcher. I don't know, give us a review or a rating or something if you want. You can find us on Noisespace.xyz. Noisespace.xyz is a podcasting network hosted by noted Canadian Matt GameCube, which is why we have to say Z instead of Z. And it's got a lot of great shows on it. It's got some shows we already mentioned, including Check Out This Guy and Pot of Greed. It's got other shows, including this week's shout-out, Dr. Ha. Dr. Ha is a Doctor Who podcast by Sam and Jordan Canning. It is their third podcast they've done. They've previously done podcasts about shows that nobody knows, like Jurgenit and Kyle XY. And now they're doing something that will be significantly more long-term by talking about Doctor Who, specifically the Revival era. Although if you subscribe to their Patreon, you can listen to them talk about classic episodes as well. Yeah. The most recent episode, as of this recording, is episode 34, Early Whittaker Strats. They talk about Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen. Some highlights I want to mention. They've gotten guests on before. They've gotten Grant of I think they've gotten Grant on. Yeah, Grant of Chip and Ironicus on there. They've covered.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I was like, they had Ironicus on. Yes. I was like, oh yes, his name is Grant. I forgot for a second.
Mm-hmm. They did. They've covered some. They've talked about all sorts of doctors. They've talked about all sorts of antics. It's great stuff. That's it for now. Oh, right. I also want to do my other little shout out. I'm going to shout out a podcast that is on my podcast list on Pocket Casts because I'm a habitual podcast subscriber. And I could just sort of review whether or not I want to keep this on here. We're shouting out Anime Sickos, a podcast for geniuses about the 4 pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. Starring Tom and Joe. I have never listened to this podcast. I really should.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
We've had them on Pot of Greed. They've got like over 150 episodes under their belt. They talk about all sorts of weird stuff. They did an audio drama they did an audio drama recently called Sicko Shock 2, which is interesting. So yeah, go check them out. They're great. I need to listen to this podcast at some point. And that wraps us up. So, until next time, Sonic the Hedgehog is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He is the only blue life that matters.
The only one.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
The new Porcupine on the block with the buff chest. Out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock his knuckles. The blow thrower. Independent flower. Magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes through boulders. That's why I stay a loner. I was born by myself. I don't need a pot. I get it on by myself. Adversaries get shelved.